from the Cronkite Studios in downtown Phoenix, this is Cronkite News.
Angry constituents calling out their lawmakers at town hall meetings nationwide. We're on location at one here in Arizona.
Plus, Representative Grijalva held 2 town halls yesterday. What he has to say about education and immigration.
And Governor Ducey speaks at the Conservative Political Action Conference. We've got the latest from the DC event.
Cronkite News starts now.
Good evening and welcome to Cronkite News on Arizona PBS. I'm Adriana De Alva.
And I'm Danielle Kernkamp. Thank you for joining us.
Angry voters continue to pack town hall meetings nationwide to voice their concerns and frustrations to Republican lawmakers. Republican lawmakers across the country are coming home to this: scores of angry constituents frustrated and emotional about the new administration, asking questions about Russia, Obamacare, immigration, and more.
Lawmakers here in Arizona are holding their town hall meetings as well. Cronkite News reporter Natalie Tarangoli is in Sahuarita, where Representative Martha McSally is holding a town hall meeting right now. What's the environment over like there, Natalie?
It's been calm here so far, but hundreds of people have RSVP'd to this town hall in Sahuarita, and it's the first town hall that Representative McSally is holding face-to-face since her re-election. Constituents tell me they hope McSally will hear their concerns and give them some answers.
I will be forceful. I will be persistent. I am prepared. I was here early, but I will not be disrespectful. She is my Congresswoman. Whether or not I voted for her has absolutely nothing to do with it. She is my Congresswoman. I owe her respect. She owes me answers.
She knows about all those situations. She's traveled down the border for a long time. It's not even, I think it's been even before she became our representative.
The Good Shepherd Church is holding the town hall. The room can hold 250 people, but it's estimated that 1,000 will show up. People have been lined up since around 11 a.m. Many people told us they're concerned about the fate of public policies, such as the Affordable Care Act, immigration, and Planned Parenthood.
Natalie and our reporting team will stay there throughout the town hall this evening and bring you full coverage on cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
Representative Raul Grijalva held several meetings over the past few days to listen to his constituents. A team of Cronkite News reporters covered the events. Kaylee Nassif shows us how the Democrat plans to stand up for public schools.
After time in Tucson, Representative Raul Grijalva headed to Estrella Mountain Community College. He held 2 roundtable discussions, the first of which focused on education.
To give the people and their representatives most affected by these decisions a chance to be heard, and those of us in Congress a chance to listen.
Educators and students from around the valley voiced their concerns about the lack of transparency in private for-profit schools and the need for them to be held to the same standards as public schools.
Public education is successful, extremely successful, and we know it speaks to that.
Representative Grijalva says maybe discussions like these should have happened before, but he honestly didn't think Donald Trump would win the election. Now Grijalva says he's in survival mode.
Most important reason, this is the first time we've had a Secretary of Education in the history of this nation that has no background in public education and doesn't support it.
Others discussed the disappearance of early childhood education and the need to raise the profile of education in Arizona, saying this is an issue of national security.
We have to educate, especially here in Arizona. And as great as some of the public schools are, we can't compete at the national level.
Grijalva says he wants private schools to have the same level of budget accountability as public schools, if they're getting federal funds. In Avondale, Kaylee Nassif, Cronkite News.
I'm Courtney Columbus. I covered Congressman Grijalva's roundtable on immigration, which happened shortly after the discussion on education. Several community leaders talked about the fear and anxiety they are experiencing. Attendees included members of the West Valley Islamic Center, a psychology professor, and an attorney with the ACLU of Arizona. The discussion focused on immigration, including the memos about immigration enforcement that Secretary John Kelly issued on Tuesday.
Now that we have the guidelines from Kelly as to what his enforcement priorities are going to be, we can comfortably begin to tell people these are your rights. But I think the biggest thing that we need to show, and that we try to show, regardless of whether we can help them or not, and the most painful part is that sometimes you can't, is to try to show some empathy.
Grijalva also discussed the Trump administration's executive order limiting travel from 7 majority Muslim countries.
We haven't had this threat to our country's security since we interned 150,000 Japanese Americans and legal permanent residents and citizens in internment camps.
One participant, Dr. Mohammed Ilyas, recounted a story of traveling from Canada to the U.S. a few days ago. He nearly missed his flight because he was stopped by immigration officials. He said it took more than an hour for him to be cleared to travel.
This whole thing just tells me that you already knew when to clear me. You know, you just are harassing me for no reason.
Dr. Ilyas said he had visited Dubai and Saudi Arabia a few months ago and had returned to the U.S. with no problems. In Avondale, Courtney Columbus, Cronkite News.
Former Arizona Congresswoman Gabrielle Giffords has harsh words for a Republican Texas representative who used her shooting and safety concerns as a reason not to hold public calls. Giffords wrote that she's attended 50 public events in the last year. She said, quote, many of the members of Congress who are refusing to hold town halls and listen to their constituents' concerns are the very same politicians that have opposed common sense gun violence prevention policies. To the politicians who have abandoned their civic obligations, I say this: have some courage, face your constituents, hold town halls.
A new administration in Washington has brought new attention to the annual Conservative Political Action Conference, or CPAC, this year. The suburban Washington event drew top Trump administration officials like Chief White House strategist Steve Bannon and Education Secretary Betsy DeVos, as well as an official familiar to most Arizonans. Cronkite News reporter Zi Zhang brings us the latest from Washington.
Arizona Governor Doug Ducey joined other Republican governors on the panel with a clear message. There are too many government regulations standing in the way of states and businesses.
And if it's a regulation that doesn't protect public safety or consumer safety, our team's going to do the research and get rid of it. There are hundreds of regulations. We have a goal to get rid of 500 regulations this year alone in the state of Arizona.
When speaking on the topic of education, the governor said he believed in the potential of charter schools.
Let parents be consumers. They know what's best for their children. I think we've got a great model in Arizona.
Governor Ducey also said he's thrilled about the members of President Trump's cabinet, but the electoral victory is just the first step toward change.
The victory is not on November 8th. That is an assignment for change and real reform. So we need to see repeal and replacement of Obamacare. We need to see real tax reform. We need to see a federal government that gets its spending under control. So I think that as governors, as activists, as engaged citizens, we need to hold all elected leaders accountable for results in this cycle. Right now, we may not get this same opportunity again. We can't.
In comments to Cronkite News afterward, the governor said he wanted to see a secure border that keeps out drug cartels and human traffickers. In Washington, D.C., Zi Zheng, Cronkite News.
President Donald Trump and Vice President Mike Pence are also scheduled to speak at the event, which lasts from February 22nd to the 25th.
The Trump administration lifted federal guidelines yesterday that allowed transgender students to use public school bathrooms and locker rooms matching their gender identity. Proponents of the move say this is about taking back the right to choose, but civil rights groups are worried, saying the action may isolate the LGBT community.
Transgender children are all of our children. Our straight children are all of our children. Our gay children are all of our children. We are an American community.
It's certainly not an attack upon the transgender community. It is a pushback against the effort by LGBT activists to impose a one-size-fits-all solution.
In a briefing today, White House Press Secretary Sean Spicer said President Trump was sympathetic to children dealing with concerns over transgender accommodations, but called it an issue best left up to states and not schools, not national policy.
A teacher at Pardes Jewish Day School in Scottsdale has resigned after posting her opinions about illegal immigrants to Twitter. The school released a statement saying their teachers can make statements about political opinion, but not, quote, hateful comments like Bonnie Vern tweeted. Litigation attorney Dan Barr says there's a fine line between the tweets she made and tweeting out support for a presidential candidate.
if you make a statement saying, you know, we should just put a bullet in these people's head, or why don't we murder them, or something like that, obviously that's something quite different, and the school has the right to say that doesn't represent our values.
President Trump has threatened a 20% import tax on goods from Mexico.
And now farmers on both sides of the border are wondering how this will affect their businesses. Get a glimpse into how day-to-day operations at a company like this might change.
Plus, we take you inside the jail at the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office.
I think I finally found my hallelujah. I've been waiting for this moment all my life now. All my dreams are coming true, yeah. I've been waiting for this moment. It's good to be alive right about now. Now.
Maricopa County Sheriff Paul Penzone said last Friday that MCSO will no longer hold immigrants past their court-ordered release date as a courtesy to ICE. And 33 suspected immigrants have since been released. MCSO Captain Mike Dawson gave the media a tour and broke down the MCSO booking process from start to finish. 80,000 people were arrested in Maricopa County last year, and they all went through the same booking process.
There's no like typical day.
First, each inmate is assessed by a medical team to ensure they're healthy enough to enter the system. Once they've cleared the health inspection, inmates begin to go through the booking process, which involves being seen by ICE agents.
As we get down towards the end, you will see where ICE is stationed with their own computers down there.
There's a final review of the bookings, and then it's on to the search area.
This is essentially the very end of the process before MCSO actually takes custody of a prisoner from another agency.
The search involves scanners, metal detectors, and PAT searches.
When we step through this wall, through this door, you're gonna kind of see a wall here. That's where all the search happens. We have one final metal detector they step through.
The inmates are then put into a holding area where they wait for identification. Dawson says it only takes 20 minutes to identify if the inmate has additional warrants, even if they're from outside of the country. Within 24 hours, they enter appearance court, where the release conditions are decided.
So they can be given a bond, they can be given no bond and have to stay in jail. They could be released on recognizance.
If they are released,
they will actually come around this corner. We're going to step into this hallway down here, and that's where the release process actually happens.
They get their clothing and property back.
This is the last step to freedom. This is what everybody wants to see when they're booked into jail right here.
Jails would previously hold individuals who had court-granted releases for an additional 24 to 48 hours, so ICE had the opportunity to pick them up and investigate their immigration status. But Maricopa County Attorney Bill Montgomery said the letter of the law is clear. You can't hold someone on the basis of a civil immigration retainer, but MCSO will continue to transfer custody to ICE when requested.
Secretary of State Rex Tillerson and Homeland Security Chief John Kelly are in Mexico City today for talks with top officials about security, trade, immigration, and the border. These meetings come amid growing tensions between the U.S. and Mexico. Mexico has long expressed anger over Trump's pledge to build a wall on the U.S.-Mexico border. And President Peña Nieto is also seeking answers on Trump's current and future measures on immigration.
Mexico Senator Juan Carlos Romero Hicks joined Arizona State Representative Tony Rivero at the Arizona Capitol today to discuss new data that points to the impact immigrants have on the Arizona economy. Reporter Amanda Luberto sheds light on the data.
We want to build a better and a closer relationship so that respecting each other's sovereignty, we can grow together.
According to a study done by the New American Economy, immigrants bring in $21.4 billion into the economy and pay more than $5 billion in taxes. An interactive map on their website shows data for all 50 states on immigrants and their tax contributions, spending power, home ownership, and more. State Representative Rivero emphasized that this should inspire new immigration reform efforts.
I believe our immigration laws should be enforceable, functional, and fair, and task before us is amending our federal law to reflect the values of this great nation.
Mexico's Senator Hicks said he met with Senator McCain and Flake today and reminded them just how important a good relationship between the countries is. In Phoenix, Amanda Luberto, Cronkite News.
The report takes into consideration both legal and illegal immigrants in its numbers.
A majority of the fruits and vegetables on our dinner tables this time of year were grown in Mexico, and about 2/3 of this produce crosses the Arizona border and is shipped across the U.S. Cronkite News reporter Katie Beery tells us why growers on both sides of the border are concerned by President Trump's plans to target imports from Mexico.
1 hour south of the Arizona-Mexico border, you'll find miles of greenhouses bathed in sunshine.
Higher.
Even in the dead of winter, these tomatoes are almost ripe enough to pick. They're grown by Wholesome Harvest, a certified organic produce company that operates on both sides of the border. This farm is part of a multi-billion-dollar cross-border produce operation.
Why will I put like cucumbers in Iowa? They won't work over there.
Their GM says climate is important.
We can give you the tomatoes, you give us the potatoes.
This suit looks like it's for my own protection, but it's actually for the protection of this organic produce, like this bunch of tomatoes here. President Trump promised to renegotiate NAFTA to protect American jobs. But workers at this U.S. packing plant in Arizona are now worried about their jobs. The tomatoes grown in Sonora arrive here in Nogales, Arizona after they cross the border. But if President Trump imposes trade restrictions,
That's what it worries us the most, because we want the best for our people. We want to help them.
and growers on both sides warn American families will have to pay more for produce if Mexico is targeted for higher import taxes.
Come winter, you're not growing Roma tomatoes in Wisconsin. It's just a fact of climate.
We should plant these vegetables here.
And now growers in the produce industry worry the fruits of their labor will wither on the vine. In Imoris, Sonora, Katie Beery, Cronkite News.
People often travel to Arizona to see the Grand Canyon or visit Sedona.
But they don't usually think to come for the food. Coming up on Cronkite News, the push to make Arizona a destination for foodies.
And temperatures are colder than normal across the valley, but will it stay that way for your weekend? I have the answer coming up.
Heaven knows you're a dreamer. Don't hide it from anyone. Don't hide it from anyone. Hey, would you believe me if I said we are here for a reason now? This is our life. This is what counts. This is for us. I will go anywhere for you.
The National Council for Home Safety and Security announced results of its annual Safest Cities in Arizona report today. Number 1 in Arizona this year was the city of Florence. There were only 34 violent crimes last year. That's about a third of the state average for crime per capita. Rounding out the top 5 safest Arizona cities are Sahuarita, Gilbert, Oro Valley, and Maricopa. The council combined data from the most recent FBI crime reports, population data, and their own research to create their findings.
Arizona restaurants were recently honored with 5 James Beard Awards. Phoenix was named the best city for pizza by Travel and Leisure. And as Kanakja reports, the Arizona Office of Tourism and the Arizona Restaurant Association want to capitalize on those accolades to highlight our state as a foodie destination.
To learn a city's best dishes, you need a local guide. Expedition Foodie is a new website created by the Arizona Office of Tourism and the Arizona Restaurant Association to help out-of-towners plan their culinary adventure. Already, some restaurants are getting global attention, like Little Miss Barbecue in Phoenix.
A group of people that flew in from Dubai, they were going to be here for a week, but they flew in. This was the only restaurant that they knew they were going to eat at. It's amazing. It's really, really cool.
Little Miss Barbecue has consistently ranked as one of the top restaurants in the state, even the country. Scott Dunn says places like this boost Arizona's reputation.
Little Miss Barbecue with Chef Scott Holmes has been among the top 15 restaurants nationally, top 15 best reviewed restaurants nationally on Yelp. So our culinary reputation has become more elevated with each passing year.
Whether a public market, a barbecue joint, or a pizza place, studies show that more tourists are saying that food experiences are an important part of their vacation.
But is a city like Phoenix prepared to be a culinary destination? Veteran food blogger and critic Dominic Armota says it's getting there.
Phoenix is finding its voice when it comes to all things culinary. You know, I think it's a town that is getting more confident in the food that's being made, more confident in its culinary history.
The Arizona Office of Tourism reported that retail and bars brought in about $1 billion to the local economy in 2016, a 2% increase from the previous year.
A lot of people that fly in and they try to schedule their flight so they land around 9, then they can get their bags and be here around 10. It really kind of blows my mind sometimes.
Look for it online in the next couple of weeks. In Phoenix, Kanakja, Cronkite News.
So what foods make Arizona great? Cronkite News wants to hear from you. Go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org to fill out our online survey on making our state a foodie destination. A state park in Tucson is reopening after struggling with budget cuts for years. Oracle State Park will be open 7 days a week starting March 1st. Visitors will be able to enjoy hiking trails and visit the historic Connolly Ranch House.
And temperatures are beautiful across the valley right now, so it's the perfect time to be visiting one of those state parks. Take a look at temperatures across the state. We're at 35 in the Grand Canyon, so if you are heading up to northern Arizona, grab that jacket. 37 in Flagstaff, 66 in Yuma, and 64 in Tucson, where that park will be opening up. Across the valley, we're in those mid to low 60s across the board. We're at 60 in Scottsdale, 64 in Surprise, and 65 in Goodyear. But these temperatures are going to go down quite a bit as we head into the night. So as you're driving home from work today, 57 in Phoenix, 55 in Scottsdale, and 53 in Surprise. And we're going to be hitting those low 50s, high 40s tonight, and even by tomorrow morning as you're heading back to work, mid 40s across the board. And even those high 30s, depending on where you are, but we'll be heading back into the 60s by midday tomorrow. It's going to be 60s Saturday and Sunday with partly cloudy, but by Wednesday and Thursday of next week, we'll be back in those 70-degree days with sunny skies.
Two groups at NAU have worked hard to find the perfect pitch. Coming up on Cronkite News, how these students are rising to the top ranks of the a cappella world.
What are you doing? Possibilities. Your day is filled with them.
Reach up, energy in the fingertips, collapse.
TV, play Downton Abbey. And PBS helps everyone discover theirs. Anytime, anywhere. Up in the sky, you can see it. PBS, we're with you for life.
You can say NAU's a cappella teams are aka awesome. Their perfect pitch earned 2 teams at the school top honors in the International Championship of Collegiate A Cappella, also known as the ICCA. Cronkite News reporter Cassidy McDonald traveled to Flagstaff to see how the teams are practicing for their advancement to the Southwest semifinals in March.
That
best known as the real-life Pitch Perfect. This year, NAU qualified 4 groups for the International Championships of Collegiate Acapella, which is the largest number of groups qualified for any university in the Southwest region.
It's massive. It's like the Olympics of acapella singing. There were over 500 college groups that applied, over 5,000 singers from across the country and the UK.
NAU's Accidentals and Highlanders recently won first and second place in the Southwest quarterfinal competition in Scottsdale this February, and will be moving on to the semifinals to compete with the top 10 groups in the Southwest region.
We told ourselves beforehand that, as long as we're proud of what we put out there, that's all that matters, and we definitely were. All of the girls love each other, want to be there for each other, not only as members of the group, but as sisters.
We've taken a massive leap forward this year, so this is our first time ever making it to semifinals.
Both groups credit their originality and group dynamics to the season's successes.
All of the songs that we sing are arranged by members of the group, same with choreography.
We have so much variety in our set that make it a little bit more enjoyable for the audience and for the judges and everything.
Acapella groups here at NAU have noted increased student involvement in the last few years. They think partly due to pop culture movies such as Pitch Perfect and TV shows like Glee.
It's created a huge amount of excitement. We had over 400 students that wanted to audition for the 4 acapella groups on campus.
The NAU acapella groups hope that receiving widespread recognition during the ICAA will continue to attract unique new talent in upcoming semesters. In Flagstaff, Cassidy McDonald, Cronkite News.
That's it for Cronkite News tonight. Thanks for joining us.
For top Arizona stories anytime, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.